if you don't mind, make sure you show love. I can't see anyone who's here who's commenting, but make sure you guys let us know that you're here, you like the content. That we are 2 minutes out from going live on Reel to Reel broadcasting. If you have not already, there is a link on the YouTube post that we just put up letting you guys know that we're going live. It's Reel to Reel broadcasting. And here, let's turn this guy off. All right, 2 minutes and counting. How is everyone going? How's everyone doing today? We're watching Goose. And as I said, this is going to be our first time ever live on the air on Reel to Reel broadcasting. So there may be bumps, there may be all kinds of fun things going on along the way. We're going to figure it out as we go along. We're here, we're having our fun, we're doing our thing. Goose just got all nice and glorious out of the shower for you guys. Careful, baby. So he's getting ready to host his own angle of the podcast. So very good. All right, guys. We've got 1 minute and counting towards going live on the broadcast. Yes, I want to close this guy. And waiting for a live event. All right. So I hope everyone is having a fantastic and wonderful evening. This episode of the Coffee with Christine and Goose Show is going to be our introduction one. We're going to go over what we're doing, who we are, why we're doing what we're doing. And hopefully if you guys have any questions, I'll have a chance to see and answer any of them. If I don't get to everyone, I'm sorry, but we'll go through and see what we can do. We got 30 seconds and counting before we're going live on the air. So you guys are kind of getting the pre-show. So say hello, let us know. And you guys watch Goose do his thing. Very good. All right, 10 seconds. Here we go. You ready, Goose? Okay. All right. And here we are. Hello, and to the Coffee with Christine and Goose Show. We are so excited to be broadcasting live Sussex County, Delaware tonight in our first ever online episode of the Coffee with Christine and Goose Show. We are very, very excited to be here. As you can hear in the background, we have a Mr. Goose, and he's hanging out with us. He's also doing his thing on TikTok. So whoever's watching on TikTok, you'll get to see you will get to see Mr. Goose drying himself off after his bath. So you can watch us in all the places, and it's going to be magical. So today is January 7th of 2023, and who are we? Who are we and what are we doing here? So my name is Christine DeGennaro, and the young gentleman that you see here is my pet duck named Goose. He is a large white Peking duck, and he is a house duck. He's a pet, and it's just like having a dog, except they poop a little bit more than dogs do. But Goose and I have been in cahoots for the last 3 years. He's been our house pet for about 3 years now, and he is exceptionally skilled. We consider him an emotional support pet, and he ended up coming to us by Tractor Supply. We bought him in a pair named Goose and Maverick after the Top Gun movie characters. And when they were about 4 months old, Goose and Maverick fought against a fox. We lost Maverick, but Goose put up a really good fight, injured his wing, has a little bit of a limp, that's residual from that. We have Mr. Goose, the fighter, over here, and he became an inside duck. There, that was their first night out. They met a fox, and we've got Mr. Goose, the fighter, here hanging out with us. He became a house duck, and about a year ago, we ended up buying 10 more ducks, and we affectionately refer to them as our Harry Potter crew. They live in the backyard, who was injured also. So I'm running a wellness ward out of my back patio, with Goose and Miss Luna overseeing the dominion of the other 6 ducks. So who am I? My name is Christine DeGennaro, and I am a certified master life coach. And I am also a Navy veteran and all kinds of wonderful fancy things. But you guys are here for the duck. Let's be real. So Goose and I are on a mission. And over the last year or so, we've been honing in on our message and how we want to help others. And we have been naturally called to help inspire others to take charge of their mental health in a way that is inspired by ducks, inspired by wildlife, inspired by the natural order of things. And Goose has been such an inspiration for myself. And now that we've been up on TikTok, we've got thousands of people up on TikTok who are also following Goose's story. So we are so excited to be able to share our journey with you and hopefully inspire you to start living the best for your life. We are here as your support health, mental support, mental health support mentors. There we are. I haven't had my coffee yet. I always stumble over my words when I don't have my coffee. So that's a little bit about us and who we are and what we're doing. We're on a mission to help inspire you. Over the next couple hours, you and I are going to get to know each other. And if you're watching Goose, you get to see him over here on TikTok and enjoy the cuteness that is a bathing goose, bathing duck named Goose. So one of the things that we've really been noticing is how important and how prevalent self-care is at right now at the beginning of the year. Everyone is just coming off of the high of the New Year's resolutions, the residual effects of the holidays. Let's be real, the holidays are a very, very emotional time for everyone. And self-care probably went out the window. We had to take into account all of our family members, all of the gifts, the purses, and the wrapping, and the festivities, and the high emotional and the low emotional states, and missing people. There's the mental health arena when it comes to after the holidays, coming down off the holidays. And so Goose and I are here to help you and support you through that. So as we are taking charge of our New Year's resolutions, we're also noticing how many people have started the year strong, and we're already officially a week into the new year. Who's fallen off the wagon? Who's completely, they haven't gone to the gym every day like they said they're going to? If that's you guys, let us know, because that's definitely something that we can try and help with. Let's see. Let me see here. All right. Thank you. You guys can listen. Oh, thank you, Deb, for putting that down in the comments. If you guys want to listen on Reel to Reel Broadcasting, go ahead and hit the link in the comments, and you guys can watch that live. So you guys can listen to that live. There we are. So we are coming from the holidays. And if I know anything about you, you gave and gave and gave so much of yourself over the last few weeks, between me and Chris. You run yourself ragged and you're exhausted. And everything has kind of calmed down a little bit. Now what? You've gotten used to running around. You've gotten used to being all amped up and having to do this. So what now? Now is your chance to take a step back and reflect on the person that you want to be over the next year. Who do you want to be? Who do you want to become? And this is stuff that Goose and I actually help with, is walk you guys through the different stages and developing new habits and developing habits that are going to be sustainable, realistic, and easy for you to accomplish. It just takes a little bit of tweaking on the mindset. So Goose and I specialize in that. So one of the things that I want to acknowledge that we are so grateful for as we're diving into this world of podcasting, as we're sharing our message across the globe, I want to thank our sponsors. So far, right now, we have two special sponsors: Apex Pheromones, which is a male cologne that has been around for about 10, and they are the top notch in male pheromones. And if you're looking for a perfect gift for Valentine's Day for your partner, for him, apexpheromone.com. Highly recommend it. The scents are amazing. One of my favorite scents is Fury. The scent is Fury. And I highly recommend it. apexpheromone.com. I'll drop that in the comments once we wrap up the show. I'll make sure that you guys are able to get that. Now, as we are progressing, we're growing our business, we're making contacts. One of the things that I have in the back of my head is knowing what to delegate and delegate to. And as a career and business woman, if you're listening to this and you need a little bit, if you want to give yourself an amazing gift, give yourself the gift of a virtual assistant. I have A plus assistants, who's also one of our sponsors, who can help you free up your time, use your time efficiently by taking on the major time consuming projects so you can focus on what you specialize in, whether that's helping people, whether it's taking care of your animals. You're ready to delegate the tasks such as website building, phone calls, scheduling, anything that you could possibly need administratively. A plus assistance will help take care of you on that. So I want to thank both of those sponsors and highly recommend. So apassistance.com and apexpheromone.com for both of our sponsors. We do have some more in the works, and we will be getting them on the air as soon as we confirm some things. So we're really excited about all of our sponsors. We will be giving them some more shout outs throughout the episode. So be sure to keep a listen if you missed the .coms the first time around. Okay. So back to self-care. So knowing yourself, knowing your strengths, knowing your weaknesses is so important. And as we're trying to build the lives around our mental health and around our awareness of our emotional situations, what we are responsible for is how we feel about ourselves. And one of the things that I've been noticing, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have been up in the news. Harry's been promoting his book. They just did their little series. I think it was on Netflix. And there's so much to unpack around the celebrities of Meghan and Harry, the Markles. The Markles. Yeah. Well, let me put it this way. When you up in an environment where you have no privacy, when you grow up in an environment where you don't feel whole expectations of your family, and you take that on as a kid and you take that on as an adult, and unresolved emotional issues, unresolved mental health issues portrays itself in a similar fashion to what Meghan and Harry are doing. How is that so? What does that mean? So I want to commend them. I want to commend Harry and Meghan on their ability to understand that they need to pull back from their family to take care of their emotional health, to take care of the health and mental stability of their family. The one thing that I noticed when watching their entire little series is that Megan seems to almost be living in a fantasy world. I'm not saying that she hasn't had her saying that she hasn't had, you know, we all have our issues. And I couldn't imagine being in the eye of the public the way that they are. However, taking accountability is one of the number one things that as a healthy, mentally healthy adult, you own your mistakes. You own what you know, you own what you don't know. And you acknowledge that in a way that is healthy, like, hey, you know what? I didn't know this, but now I do, and I'm going to do better. Or, granted, I don't see eye to eye with my family. However, there are some ties that I need to honor and respect, and there are some boundaries that need to be honored and respected as well. So we will be talking about all of this stuff when it comes down to uh, talking to our experts. I've got a whole line of experts lined up. We've got. I'll go into that in just a minute. I'm really excited about that. So here's what we're looking at. When it comes to self-care and mental health, you want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. You want to make sure that, what do they say? Put your first. You want to make sure that you're filling from a full cup. You're filling other cups. Okay. What do I mean? You got to make sure that you're filling your cup first, right? Imagine a cup and it's empty and you're trying to pour what's left in other cups around you. And you're trying to pour into your family, you're trying to pour into your husband, you're trying to pour into your kids, and there's nothing left for you. This is what we've gone through this whole holiday season. This is what Meghan and Harry have kind of felt that they've been doing too. They've been giving all of themselves in a way that hasn't been fulfilling for them. And by taking a step back and acknowledging, like, hey, something's not working here, something is not right here, they're able to see a different perspective. And when you take that outside perspective, when you take other people's viewpoints, when you are able to put it all into a mixing pot, you're able to finally understand, like, hey, okay, so this is me, this is what I want, this is what others expect, and this is how I'm going to make that work. That leads to mental stability by being able to put all those pieces together. Some of the things that we take on as women, we take on other people's emotions. And whether we mean to or not, we take on other people's emotional happy. We have to make the kids happy. The boss requires us to do certain things performance wise. We take a lot on our shoulders. We have to keep the husband happy and healthy. When we are taking all of this on our shoulders at the same time and we're not asking for help ourselves, that's where the breakdown starts to happen. You start to feel resentment. You start to feel upset. You start to feel frustrated and angry and overwhelmed. And we will be covering all of this in the upcoming episodes because this is so important for us to know and for us to understand and for us to be able to identify so we can move on and fix it. So let's see. What I am going to do. Really, Goose? Why? So, for those of you who are watching on TikTok, you now have a gorgeous view of Goose's butt because he decided to try to hide behind the chair. So, if you're watching live on TikTok, enjoy the cute butt. Um, so, Speaking of TikTok, I thought that this was really funny. If you have not been on TikTok or if you have been seeing a whole lot of croissants taking over TikTok, you know how they say laughter is the best medicine? There is a creator known as the Sleepy Paramedic, and he has sent first responders and everyone who watches his page on a mission all of TikTok by Croissant Storm. It is called Operation Crumblast. And essentially someone was bombarding his entire page with croissants and finally asked the guy like why croissants? And the guy is like, I just like them. So it has become a thing that everyone is targeting everyone else's page on TikTok with croissants. So if you have been on the realm of TikTok that hasn't been crumb blasted yet, it's coming. It's coming because the sleepy paramedic has told all the people of his page, have at it. It doesn't matter what the algorithm says. If the page crosses your For You page, drop a croissant. So we've got all that going on. I absolutely love it. So we're enjoying it. I don't know about you guys. We recently got on TikTok and it has been such an incredible blast to be playing around on there. There's some really great and insightful pages. We've been connecting with farmers and homesteads and agriculturists and gardeners all across the globe, and it's magical. Like we've gotten all of our pages are all over the place on there, and we are really, really completely enjoying the whole world of TikTok. Now, here's something else that I want to lead into a little bit is how do you take care of yourself mentally while you're on social media? I have been seeing an exorbitant amount of posts addressing rude comments and people addressing um people will come on someone's page and tell them how wrong they are about what they think, and it's eye-opening. It's very eye-opening because we have opened ourselves up as creators. We open ourselves up to the world. The entire world is looking at the stuff that you're posting, whether it's stuff about parenting and your kids, or it's your farm, or it's your art. It doesn't matter what you're opening yourself up to. You're opening yourself up and you're allowing the floodgates to open for other people to voice their opinion, which is understandable because everyone has an opinion and they're allowed to have it. But the one thing that always breaks my heart is hearing all about the rude comments and seeing some of the nasty side of social media. And I want us, if you're here and you're listening, I want you to do me a favor. And this is how we're going to start spreading the message of love, right? Yeah. This is how we're going to start spreading the message of love is we're going to view things with kindness. We're going to view things with a genuine interest in understanding a perspective as opposed to voicing our opinion and saying that other person's wrong in what they're doing, how they're acting. You know, short of hurting other people emotionally and physically, what other people are doing is none of our business. Yeah, I might get some heat on that, but I think it's very important that we approach other people with love and the desire to understand and the desire to open up conversations about different viewpoints. And this is so important when it comes to social media because as we're opening ourselves up, we are also we're opening up the door to show and lead by example. So if you're here and you're a listener, I want you, anytime you come across something mean, come across something sad on Facebook, take a few minutes and do your best to understand what is happening before you make a judgment. Keep it from an open mind. Keep an open mind. There's no reason to be mean. There's no reason to be nasty. And the people that are being mean and nasty, you don't have to follow them. You don't have to like them. You can block them. Don't get into a fight unless it's something you very firmly stand for, and that's honorable, and that there's nothing wrong with that. But if someone's coming across a page, you can delete it. If there's something coming across your social media that you feel is harmful for your mental health, block them. Not interested. Move allowed to have your own opinion. You're allowed to voice your opinion in a respectful way, but you're also not there to judge other people on what they're doing. So, protecting yourself and your mental health on social media, one of the tricks is tricking the algorithm. And by tricking the algorithm, hello, yes, thank you. Hi, Goosey. Thank you for listening. I know we're just kind of hanging out. I'm talking into my podcast over here. So, but yeah, always take the chance to show other people what it's like to be mature. You can lead by example. You show others how to live with just a little bit more love. You can be the kindness that the world needs. And for all the people who are haters, you can block them. You can scroll past them. And my favorite thing to do is watch duck pages. And that tricks the algorithm into just showing you duck pages. So there's something to think about. So for those of you who are new and who are joining us, I really appreciate it. I almost forgot that we were over here. Hello. Goose is just hanging out, keeping me company. Let me drop this down a little bit more for you guys so you get to see Goose in all his glory. But we are here and we're hanging out. This is what we get for the Coffee with Christine and Goose Show. You guys get Goose chirping in the background, and you guys get me rambling on about stuff about self-care. So in the next few upcoming episodes, we are going to be talking to some experts. We're going to be talking to Francesca, who is a high school therapist, but she also has a therapy dog. She's got a dog that's going to school to be a certified therapy dog. So she will be able to talk to us about the importance of animals in our mental health and healing. Being able to process through things and using animals as a productive and positive way to embrace our mental health. We're also going to be talking to Kira, who is a licensed social worker in New York. And is she in New York? I think she's in Virginia. I can't remember offhand, Kira. I'm sorry. But we're going to be talking to Kira, and I think she's in Virginia. I think she's in Virginia Beach, where how our mental health and the specific techniques that we're able to use to embrace positive and negative fluctuations in our emotions and getting control over our emotions. Now, we have a tendency to think of emotions as positive and negative. And this is something that I'm going to be going in with Kira, is emotions are a gauge. I love this analogy. How our emotions are a GPS on how connected we are to our source and our spirit energy. And that's a whole level of woo that we won't go into on this episode, because I feel like we're still introducing some things, but we're going to definitely want to dive into some of that. And that's something I'm really excited about. So for those of you who's popping in, this is Mr. Goose. This is our pet duck, and he is the light of my life. and he has been our pet duck, our house duck, for the last 3 years. He survived a fox attack. He's named after Goose from Top Gun, and he's spoil rotten, absolutely spoil rotten. He is in the works to become my emotional support animal, and I think he's enjoying it. I think he enjoys it. My name is Christine DeGennaro. I'm Goose's human. Goose is human. And I am a certified master life coach. I am a Navy veteran. I am a breast cancer survivor. I've worn a whole ton of hats, and that's something that I'm very proud of. It's taken me a long time to get to where I am, but we're also meditation and emotional freedom technique tapping practitioners. So when we are working with clients, that's what we're helping them with. We do guided meditations, tapping, and working that that our clients might be experiencing. Goose and I are on a mission to help inspire you to live your best life. We are in the process of coming up with a boot camp to help you stay on track and to build good habits, and it's a self-care boot camp for humans. So that's in the process of being built right now. For those of you who are new, if you're business owners, we are looking for sponsors. We want to be able to connect with anyone who is in the mental health, physical health therapy, psychological. We also want to combine with animals. So if you're a rescue and you want to partner with promoting your rescue efforts, we would love to have you on the show. We are very open to having discussions with anyone who is interested in becoming a sponsor. We want to keep it mental health and self care awareness, but it doesn't have to solely be that. So if you guys want to even be on an interview, if you guys want to do the podcast with us, you are more than welcome. We'd love to have you. Thank you, Debbie. He's a cutie, isn't he? He's a little butthead sometimes. Yes. So let's see. So one of the things that I found very interesting, I was doing a little bit of looking into some topics for tonight's show. And one of the things that I came across is that animals have so much to teach us. They have so much to teach us about our own mental awareness and our own ability to just be ourselves. And if we can take a little bit from them and just kind of transport it over into us a little bit, our lives would shift entirely. Because as you're watching him, as you see Goose right now, what was he doing? He was cleaning himself, right? He didn't care that he was on camera. He was going to clean himself no matter what. And to have that kind of freedom to be like, hey, you know what? I don't care who's watching. I'm just going to do what comes naturally to me. Whether that's smiling, whether that's dancing, whether that's laughing. For him, it's cleaning. For us to have that ability to be in the present moment, that's what Goose and I want to help you find. We want to help you find that connection, not only to your higher power energy, but to yourself at your core. We want to show you how it's okay to be who you are at your core and how it's a beautiful thing. And we are really, because there is nothing more pure than watching an animal, playing with an animal, whether it's a kitten or a dog or a horse. They have horseback riding therapy. We stumbled across a place last week, I think. There was a therapy place, and I'm really excited to look into this further because you're able to connect with people. I know a lot of people with special needs do a lot of animal therapy as well. And it's magical to watch the connection between two souls. Oops, I'm sorry, guys. Oops. All right, let me turn down. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate this. We're just hanging out and enjoying. So if you are enjoying this podcast, if you are enjoying this live and the talk, please make sure to like it, love it. We're trying to get our message out there. Goose and I are on a mission to fill your lives with a little bit of inspiration, a whole lot of love, and a little bit of caffeination. I don't know if you guys are drinking any coffee today, but we're here. We're drinking coffee like I need any more, but well, I mean, you can say that. He always has something to say. He always has something to say. Getting back to the animals, I'm getting a little off topic. Sorry about that. So, animals have a way of just doing what comes naturally and not giving a crap about anything that someone else might think. And it's beautiful to watch and it's beautiful to be able to embody. And one of the topics that I came across that just it made me laugh as I was looking into it. There was a lazy dog who likes to fake sleeping so he can get out of having to go for a walk. Let that sink in for a moment. There is a lazy dog who fakes being asleep so he can get out of going for a walk. He doesn't want to go for a walk. So he's not going to go for a walk and he's going to find a way to not do what he wants to do. He'd rather sleep. There's a horse that plays dead to get out of being ridden. You can't tell me that these animals aren't smart. You can't tell me that, that these animals aren't delightful. There's a reason why people look at cat videos. Cat videos are some of the number one videos that people watch when they're feeling upset, when they're feeling depressed. There is a certain chemical that our body releases when we witness the fun and the cheerfulness and the presence of an animal. Whether it's an animal being funny or an animal just existing and doing what it's naturally meant to do. When you are able to combine that presence, being present and in the moment with your natural instincts, that's a beautiful thing. Learning to trust your instincts, learning to understand what feels good and what feels right to you, not based on what everyone else is thinking, but what you feel in your gut. That's when you start thinking along the lines of how an animal is and how present they are. They listen to their gut, they listen to their intuition, right? We call it an animal instinct. And what that is their connection to whatever energy source is the driving force behind our life force energy. So, without getting spiritual, without getting all kinds of wooey, we're all connected to a major energy source. Our geared, our brains, our hearts, everything is by electric impulse, right? So we got that electrical impulse from somewhere. And that comes with our life force energy. When you are connecting with an animal or when you see an animal acting on instinct, they are trusting that energetic impulse. They are trusting what they know to be right for them in that moment. And it's so much fun and fascinating to watch. And I know my guest Francesca and I are going to go into some of the study on animals and how having them present with us, having them part of our lives and being part of our mental health and wellness routines is essential. It's almost essential for us to be able to heal and connect. So it's a beautiful thing. So for those of you who are new and who are joining, I am Christine and DeGennaro. This is my duck named Goose. If you're watching on the TikTok, you have a full view of Mr. being Mr. Goose. And we're just hanging out and enjoying. We are live on our self-care broadcast. It's the Christine and Goose Show. If you are enjoying what you're listening to, please make sure you like, you subscribe. We are on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, we're all over the place. There's honestly nowhere there that we're not. We are broadcasting right now on Reel to Reel Broadcasting, and we're excited to be able to bring this broadcast across the globe to everyone who's listening. We are looking for sponsors, and we are also looking for podcast guests. In the upcoming weeks, we've got a few guests coming on, including mental health and wellness therapists and licensed social workers. We also are going to be talking to moms who are in some high-powered positions and business owners and other life coaches. We have a huge array of people who are going to be able to share their expertise and their insight on your mental health and wellness. And we're really excited. Goose is here for our support. Do you have anything to add so far? Goose wants to make sure that we thank our sponsors. So we're going to thank Apex Pheromone and A Plus Assistance for being our current sponsors. And we are always welcome and open to discussing more and different sponsors to be able to help partner with you to grow your business and to help get your message out. So for those of you who are new and don't know Goose, Mr. Goose is named after Goose on Top Gun, and he is a spoiled rotten house duck. Yes, I know. My spoiled. So Goose is a fighter. Goose has always been a little feisty and a bit of a fighter, and he comes with me to go get coffee. He follows me around the house. He's got a couple friends out in New York, but he spends most of his time inside with us after he fought off a fox. So as I said, he's a fighter. All personality. And he's taught me so much about being present and in the moment. And that's something that we are really excited to be able to share with you guys. You know, when we go into our courses, when we start doing our boot camp, because we're doing a self-care for humans boot camp coming up. And we're going to be talking about how certain parts of his natural instinct can feed into ours to help us improve our mindset, to help us improve our day-to-day routine, and help us grow as people, but also grow into the best version of ourselves. And we're really excited to be able to do that. This is something that is a lot of fun. So So now one of the things that we do like to discuss is playing on social media. You know, we've discovered TikTok recently, and we've been really enjoying it and having a lot of fun with it. But we see a lot of people struggling to feel good about social media. You know, we have a lot of people come on and feel attacked, and other people come on and, you know, they expose their most vulnerable sides and they get a lot of support, but they get a lot of hate. And I want to put this out there. You know, being content creators and being vulnerable to a world where people can be cruel, it takes a certain amount of bravery. It takes a certain amount of I don't give a poopness, because whether you have a thick skin or not, you're going to always take into account other people's opinions. And especially if they come from people that you know and people you trust. And there is something to be said about the people who are going to do what they want to do anyway. They will take your opinion into account, but they're going to go ahead and move forward in a way that still feels good to them. And I think that that's something that we can completely learn from the animals. Goose doesn't care whether or not he poops on the floor, he's going to do it. He doesn't care that I have to clean it up. He's going to poop on the floor. That's why we have blankets. That's why we make sure that we're clean. Because he doesn't care. But what he does care about is that he's being taken care of and he's being loved and he's being cherished. If he were out in the wild, he would have to figure it out for himself, right? And that's kind of where we are as people. We are thrown out into the wild that is social media, and we're being told to figure it out. The one thing that I want us to take away from tonight is when it comes to social media, when it comes to viewing other people's lives, when it comes to comparing yourself against other people, that is something that you have to be careful of. We're always going to want more. We're always going to want better. We're always going to want to improve ourselves. There's nothing wrong with wanting to improve yourself. But when you are in a constant battle of, well, she's doing this and I need to do this, and you have to know when to compare yourself and your struggle, have to know when to not. And that's actually one of the things that we go over in our course as well, because there's a fine line between pushing yourself to be better and forcing yourself to do something that is not meant for you to do. Life isn't perfect. Life is never going to be perfect. And all the people that you see on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok that have together, guaranteed there's something in their life that they feel is completely out of control. And that's okay. None of us have it all together. That's the secret. That's really the secret. We might look like we do, but we don't have it all together, and that's okay. The trick is to come up with a system that allows you to embrace who you are, to have the flexibility to move despite what life throws at you, and still be able to feel like you've accomplished the goals that you're setting for yourself. And that is one of the tricks one of the things that I've really struggled with. I have attention deficit. I don't know if this podcast is any indication of that, but I have a tendency to jump from project to project to project. I've got a whole bunch of unfinished projects that are near and dear to me that I'm not willing to completely relinquish or release. But I can look back. I might dive headfirst into one for an entire week and then put it off for another month. And that's how I manage to do things. But I do it when it feels right to dive into it. And if you're one of those people who you need to do the whole project and get it done, then that's the way that you should have your system set up. If you're one of those people who prefer to work on it a little bit each and every single day, slow and steady wins the race, you should have it set up that way. There's no right or wrong to accomplishing your goals. There is no right or wrong approach to taking care of your mental health. There is no cut and dry thing that is going to work for every single person. It just not. And one of the things that Goose and I like to do, give you tools to pick from, give you insights and experiences from other experts who have different opinions, who have different insights, and who might have a whole different set of tools that you can add into your experience and your repertoire to be able to help you overcome any challenges that you might face. So we're really excited to be able to be building our network, to be building our reach, and to be interacting with people who have nothing but the utmost caring and compassionate souls that are in this circle. All right. I am going to, I don't know if I can. Sorry, guys. I still haven't figured out how to do all there's certain software and that actually lets me have a quick break and all that kind of stuff. But we're gonna get there. It's fine. It's fine. So I'm gonna take a quick peek over here. Woo. All right. So I am moving this here. So I'm so glad that you guys have been hanging out and joining us with the Coffee with Christine and Goose Show. I'm really enjoying this. So if you're new and you're not sure what's happening, I'm Christine DeGennaro. I am broadcasting live from Sussex County, Delaware. And we are here with my co-host, Mr. Goose. And we are trying to figure out how to get this back on track. There we are, Goose. So if you're new, make sure you're saying hi, make sure you're liking, make sure you're sharing all of the hearts, the likes, share the posts, share the comments. And let's see. So some of the things that we cover, that was a really appreciate that. Some of the things that we cover in our boot camp. We cover trusting your spiritual growth and how to grow into a relationship with whatever spiritual deity you have. We talk about your home environment and how taking care of your coop helps reflect your mindset and helps you take care of your mindset. We also talk about collecting like a broody hen and holding on to things that no longer serve you, how to let them go. If you are not familiar with a broody hen, ducks, the female ducks are called hens, just like with chickens, how the female chickens are called hens. And a broody hen is a female who will sit on the eggs until they hatch. And they call it going broody because all she does is sit and collect these eggs. And for about 21 to 28 days, she'll do nothing but sit on the eggs until they turn into babies. And when you start holding on to things, you as you close in on yourself like a broody hen. Broody hens are very protective. They turn into little mama bears because they are protecting the babies. So when you become a broody hen, you essentially close in on yourself. You're protecting your nest against all other threats. And when you can understand that, okay, I let go of this. The chicks have hatched. This is what has come of it. For us to be able to let go of situations, parts of our story, parts of there are certain things that we can let go and release. So we talk about that and some healing processes in the boot camp. So we talk about a whole lot of stuff on being able to move forward, but we also encourage you to take action every single day during the boot camp. And we're building a community, we're building a flock, we're building our tribe of people who are going to help encourage each other and help each other grow. So that is part of what we're doing here on the Coffee with Christine and Goose Show is we are here to grow the tribe. We are here to grow the flock to show you that you can be duck and crazy and have a really good message to help other people. And we are really excited to be able to pull others into our flock to expand the circle and the awareness of how important mental health is. Now, one of the things that you might not know is I'm a Navy veteran. I was in the military post 9/11 from 2002 to the end of 2006. And we saw some things. And I was very fortunate. I was stationed out in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. I was never sent on deployment. My ex-husband was. um you know but as military police, we go through training and we go through situations that you never expect to have to go through. And as you are growing, I mean, I was 19 years old, growing into being a person, being and growing into an adult, you aren't always given the chance to grow into the mature fashion that you expect. You go through situations that create trauma. And whether you hold on to it or not, that's something that is very important. So one of the things that we are doing is we are working on outreach for veterans as well. I have a very close close knit, near and dear um, soft spot for my veterans and my brothers and sisters in arms. This is something that the things that they go through and the things that they have gone through are heartbreaking and heart-wrenching, and so many of them feel alone, which is why it's so important for us to reach out to our veteran community, whether you are not understanding that veterans set themselves apart from civilians. And it's a club. The military is a club that once you're in it, mentally, you've been in it for life. And you have a brother and sisterhood that surpasses any other type of club or membership that you could possibly ever be in. And it's important for us to follow up with the mental health, not only for ourselves, but for our friends and for our veterans and the people who are actively serving in the military who may undergo trauma that need our help too. So we're looking for veterans. We're looking for people in the farming industry. We're looking for people in agriculture and animal therapy. And, we're looking to bond and bring you all in as part of a group. um, you know, the message is taking care of your mental health through self care. And by understanding that it's okay to put yourself first, that it's necessary to put yourself first, we are living in a time where this is being finally, we're having it called to our attention that self care is not selfish. You're doing things to make yourself better. You're doing things to take care of yourself. And when you're taking care of yourself, you're in turn taking care of everyone else around you by being who you. And if you have a problem feeling good about who you truly are, I would love to have you reach out and we can talk. Um, so one of the things that I have come to terms with, I'm a crazy duck lady. I'm a crazy duck lady. And I have no qualms about it because this is an entire part of my life that is me. This is me. Growing up, we always had horses involved. I never owned a horse, but I was so passionate about horses and horseback riding. We always had dogs, and age. I always wanted to be a veterinarian. I did. I wanted to be a veterinarian. And it was so important to me to be able to carry on that love of animals. And it's so funny to sit here and think that life has come full circle. I always wanted to be a vet, and here I am taking care of my own flock of ducks. Um, there are some days where you're learning on the fly. Like there's certain illnesses that you never would expect to come up. And unless you do research and unless you put yourself in the understanding, like I'm responsible for this animal, you it's a different perspective. So there are some days where you are wearing that that veterinarian hat. There are some days where you're wearing that medical assistant hat where, we've had to do wound cleaning. We've had to, we had one duck recently tear his foot. There are circumstances that you never expect. And when you mentally prepare for them, when you know that you can meet whatever challenge is going to come your way, it helps. And what we do as part of the boot camp, as part of our assistance in helping you grow with your mental health and wellness, is helping you plan for the future without calling in anything horrible. I don't know if that makes sense. I very firmly believe in law of attraction. I very firmly believe that what you focus on, you bring into your circle. And when you are planning on life, when you are planning out your next steps and how to move forward, you're sitting there and imagining what circumstances are going to prevent you from achieving the goal. And you find a way to work around it. And that's part of what we end up doing is we allow you to brainstorm how to break through the excuses, how to adjust your mindset on what resources are going to help you overcome anything that life might throw at you. We have been very, very fortunate, but we've had a lot of really crazy things in our lives. My partner has kept me on my toes with his health. And, there are certain situations that came up that really tested us. There were certain situations in my own health that really tested me. There are certain situations with Goose, when he was little and he was attacked by that fox. He had to put himself, it was life or death. And we come up faced with certain situations that test our strength, test our durability, and test our ability to move forward from them. And that's something that I know Goose and I really want to help you guys focus on too, is being able to move forward in a way that is healthy, that is true to who you are, and that is going to allow you to be the best version of yourself. If you're here and you are watching, I am going to take a quick break. So I'm going to turn the speakers off just for a moment. Hang tight, and I will be with you guys in just a minute. Okay. Thank you. I'll be right back. All right, Mr. Goose. All right, friends. All right. Thank you for bearing with me. I am so glad that you guys are here and you are joining us. We are at the top of the second hour. We've already been live for one full hour and we got a little bit more time to go. So, if you are here and you are new and you are just joining us, you are here on the Coffee with Christine and Goose Show live. We're broadcasting out of Sussex County, Delaware, live tonight on January the 7th, 2023 on Reel to Reel broadcast. Now, I always like to try to start our broadcast with an intention. Going into the top of the hour, our intention, we're going to focus on abundance and what abundance looks like. I love that. What is abundance looks like something different for everyone. Have you ever noticed that abundance is something that, for someone who doesn't have abundance can look like a warm meal that they have enough for 2 meals. Abundance looks like enough money in the bank to pay your bills. Abundance looks like a beautiful home, lots of love. Abundance looks different for everyone. And understanding what it looks like for us is so important. It's crucial. It's crucial for us to be able to move forward. And it's crucial for us to, if we don't know what abundance looks like for ourselves, how do we know when we've achieved it? That's a good question, right? So what does abundance look like for you? I would love to know. If you guys are listening on TikTok, I would love for you guys to drop that in the comments. You're watching here with Mr. Goose. What does abundance look like for you? I know for me, being able to sleep in a little bit late. It looks like having a full refrigerator. It looks like having more than what I need in the bank. It looks like having a car that runs and gets me from point A to point B without being a pain in the butt. Abundance looks like Mr. Goose. Pretty abundant. We've got lots of ducks, so we're pretty abundant in ducks. My husband likes to measure things in cheeseburgers. How many cheeseburgers can you get for this? And let's see. When it comes to abundance and animals, have you ever noticed that they're self-reliant? The animals out in the wild are self-reliant. They don't know where their next meal is going to come. They make sure that they are fed and they make sure that their babies are fed. And if you've ever watched, do they eat first or do they let their baby eat? Just to see what you think on that, because that's actually something I wish I had the answer to, because I just thought of that. We are here. Bear with me, guys. I'm having a little bit of an issue here. All right. Thank you. Perfect. Okay. All right. There was an issue in the lag on my computer. We've been having a little bit of issues here on and off all day. Are you guys still live over here? Okay. All right, so we're going to take this chance to thank our sponsors, Apex Pheromones. If you are a woman and you are looking for the perfect gift for your partner for Valentine's Day, pheromone, that is the magic that will ignite your relationship. Now, the scents are for the products are for the men. So you would buy this as a gift for him, but it's really kind of for yourself because each bottle, each product has a specific way of tapping into certain parts of your body. Pheromones allow you to signal on a chemical level, on a scent level. And what that does is it triggers your body to react in a certain way to the pheromones in the bottle. And so if you go to apexpheromone.com and check out the different scents, you've got Fury, you've got Sex Magnet, you've got all kinds of great and wonderful scents that are delightful. Definitely recommend them. And so Apex Pheromones for your gifts for him for Valentine's Day. Highly recommend it. Next is A Plus Assistance. If you are a businesswoman, career woman who is tired of taking on all the projects for yourself, A Plus Assistance is going to help you alleviate all of that stress. They are going to take your document creation, they're going to take your website planning, they're going to take social media content, anything that you need to delegate. You want A plus assistants for your virtual assistant. Definitely recommend them. So we want to thank our sponsors for giving us the opportunity to spread the love, the kindness, and the mental health awareness that Goose and I are trying to spread today. Is that right? Goose has a few things to say. Uh-huh. Is that right? Okay. So Goose is telling me that he wants me to tell his story again. If you, if you guys are new and you haven't heard it before, Goose is named after the Goose character from Top Gun. He was part of a pair, Goose and Maverick. We lost Maverick to a fox. Goose fought off the fox, but we lost Maverick. And so Goose is our little fighter. He is our spoiled, rotten house duck. And he is my partner in crime. Now, how did he become professor? Well, we came to the conclusion that my face wasn't the right one for the business. We decided that he needed to be the face of the business. And with that responsibility had to come with a professional title. So we promoted him from scheduling and project coordinator to Professor Goose. So he teaches our self-care boot camp. He also teaches the workbook. We just released a workbook, self-care duck style, mental health duck style. And he, is that right? Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys got all that. Ooh, I don't know if you guys got all that, but yeah. Sometimes he just goes on. He just goes on a rant. I don't know. But we're looking forward to having not only Mr. Goose, but we're also looking forward to having some other experts in their field on going over, animal therapy, social skills, and popular methods. So we're going to talk about some popular methods of overcoming emotional grief. I'm going to give you tools to process things emotionally and how to understand them physically as well. So we've got some really great people coming on up. We've got Francesca, who's going to be coming up in the next week or so. We've got Kira, who's going to be coming on up. I've got my friend Jasmine, who is a life coach, and I'm really excited to be getting her on and her fresh perspective. Jasmine is magical. If you guys are looking for a coach and a fashionista and someone who is just going to ignite you, that's Jasmine. She was one of the key people who helped me when I had promoted to manager, and she helped me shift my mindset. And that's the one thing that I always want you guys to take into account. The best people are constantly surrounding themselves with people who make them better. So you want to, if you want to grow personally, you have to surround yourself with people who value growing. And we can't all do this by ourselves. We can't all do this alone, because the best people know how to tap into the potential of others. They understand that other people who can serve as mentors are going to be the ones to guide them to success. And when you know that you're not alone in what you're going through, say, maybe you're overcoming an illness and you partner with someone who's been through that illness before and can walk you through what it's like and how they overcame it, you're able to find a common partnership. And, it doesn't lessen your struggles or your battles, but it helps bolden you and helps challenge you to think about it differently, to approach it differently. And when you have someone who can guide you through it themselves, there's nothing more magical. So back when I was being coached by Jasmine, she had spent, I think it was almost 20 years as a store manager and like a regional manager and running like multi-million department stores and just absolutely phenomenal. And I told her that I had been promoted and I didn't quite, what do I do? I know certain parts of the job, but how do I act as what do I do as a manager? A key piece that stuck with me, and it still sticks with me, is as a manager, what is something that you can learn? What can you learn to pass on to your people? And that was just such a huge aha moment for me, because I got to tap into people's strengths. I know how to encourage them and I know how to inspire them, but how do I manage them? But utilizing my own strengths to motivate them, but by sharing what I'm learning and communicating that by my strengths and being able to incorporate everyone else's strengths and weaknesses into a well-functioning machine. And it was such an eye-opening thing. So I can't wait to have Jasmine come on and do a show with us. She is delightful. She's got an incredible story too. So all of our guests, Francesca, she's had her own battles, health wise and career wise. Kira has overcome some incredible odds and has become a therapist down in Virginia Beach. And Jasmine has been coaching for the last few years after being a manager of the equivalent of like Target and like a regional director of Target. So we've got some really great women who are coming up. I also have a few things in the works. We do have a rescue an animal rescue farm that we're really excited and we're going to be reaching out to talk to and have them on the show well to be able to promote them and the animal rescue services. So we'll be reaching out to them soon over the next couple days about that opportunity and learning more about them and the role that animals play in our healing process as humans. So I do want to take the opportunity to thank our sponsors, Apex Pheromones and A Plus Assistance. If you're looking for good gifts for Valentine's Day, Apex Pheromone is a perfect gift for the man in your life to smell really good and help steam up your relationship. Apex Pheromone. And A Plus Assistance, if you want to give yourself the gift of a little less stress when it comes to your business, get yourself a virtual assistant. A Plus Assistance will take care of everything for you. So shout out to our sponsors. Thank you. What else? What do we want to add, Mr. Goose? Well, we can't give away all the secrets of the course. I know he's so proud of all the work that he's been doing on these courses. Uh-huh. I know. I'm so excited for you. You want to come over and say hi? Yeah. You want to come over and say hi? So Mr. Goose has been teaching us a lot about ourselves, but he's also been teaching us a lot about ducks. I never, ever, ever in my entire life would have envisioned that I would not only have a duck, but have multiple ducks. You know, as I was saying earlier, we were always fascinated with animals. I was very passionate about horses. We grew up having dogs all the time, and so having animals being a part of our lives was always a very important piece. When I grew up, I wanted to be a veterinarian, and that kind of got sidetracked because I was awful. When I tell you awful at chemistry, like should have failed it. I don't know how I didn't, but should have failed chemistry. And the getting the poor grades themselves made me feel like I wasn't going to be a good veterinarian. I couldn't pass chemistry. I struggled with chemistry. And that set me on the path to become an author. That set me on the path to join the military. That set me on the path to become a medical assistant and get experience and background in women's health and physical therapy and eventually life coaching. So now here I am. I'm an author, podcast host. We host classes. Goose and I do boot camps, but also to have animals. Like everything is coming full circle. And the really cool thing is that we're just going to keep getting better. I know this show is a little bit dry, but I know that right now, what we are doing, we are gaining momentum. We are gaining insight. We are growing. We are going to be getting more guests. We are going to be growing and facing all kinds of really cool challenges in the upcoming. So, some of the challenges that we've been facing recently, a lot of mindset stuff. Have you guys been dealing with a lot of like the heaviness from the holidays and things like that? I know I struggled during the holidays. I was supposed to go up to New York and then fell sick and wasn't able to go. And it was devastating. And, you know, wanting to go and not being able to get there. And then just overall feeling of just not, things are just not working out right now. And it's upsetting, you and how do you overcome that? How do you work through that? And it's just the trick is one day at a time, one thought, one step, one thing at a time. Right, Goose? Hmm. One step at a time. And it's important for us to recognize that when we're feeling sad, when we're feeling upset, there's nothing wrong with that. For us to overcome it and overcome it in a healthy way, we have to sit with it and we have to acknowledge it. And, sometimes that looks like crying on the bathroom floor. Sometimes it's yelling and screaming from behind the wheel of your car. Sometimes it's talking to your best friend about what's bothering you. And the one thing that is so important for us to know is that despite how it feels, we're not alone in our struggles. We're not alone in the pain, and we don't have to handle it by ourselves. That's why it's so important to have a mental health specialist. It's so important to have someone who you can talk to when you're upset, someone that can listen and not judge, but offer you guidance if you need guidance. Um, but also someone who's not going to sit there and let you wallow in self pity. I think that's the important understanding too. It's you're allowed to be upset. You're allowed to feel what you're going to feel. That's how you process it. But at the same time, if the person that you're with is just going to let you rant on and on and on and on and not do anything about what your belly ache, that might not be the person for you to talk to about this issue, because the people who love you are going to say, "Yep, you're valid. Yep, you're valid. Yep, you're valid. What are you going to do about it? How are we going to fix this? How can I help you fix this? What things can we do together to help you overcome this?" And those are the kind of people that you have to surround yourself with. Those are the type of people you want in your circle, are the ones who are going to hold space for you, but allow you to work through your issues in a way that is authentic to you, without feeling pushed, without feeling goaded into taking any specific action, but allow you to come to terms and think of your next step and encourage you in taking your next step. So it's always important to surround yourself with the people who are going to encourage you to be the best version of yourself. Hello. Thanks for watching. I know you guys are hanging out with us on TikTok and YouTube and Facebook, and we are all over the place right now. We are broadcasting on Reel to Reel Broadcasting, and we are here live for the Coffee with Christine and Goose Show. We are hanging out and chit-chatting. We're gearing up for some really great conversations over the next few weeks. We've got some really great content coming up. We've got some sponsors in line. Speaking of sponsors, we've got Apex Pheromone and we have A Plus Assistants, who without either of them, we wouldn't be here right now. So we appreciate them much. Check out the website, apexpheromone.com and apassistants.com to check out our sponsor links. Now, Goose, as you see here, if you're watching the TikTok, he is hanging out and just enjoying. Now, I do have a couple other cameras. Once we finish up and I'm able to do some editing, I will be able to show all the cameras of Goose hanging out. So you guys aren't really missing anything, even if you're watching on TikTok Live and YouTube Live and you get to just see my face. So we are working through. So one of the things that I found was really funny, really, really funny. There is a first responder, paramedic on TikTok. And if you haven't heard this story yet about the Croissant Army, you're going to find out, because they are going global. Operation Crumb Blast is underway, and If you have been sleeping under a rock because not a part of this fun circle, Operation for everyone on TikTok who was a first responder. It started with the sleepy paramedic, and there was a person on person on his post who just kept blasting him with croissants. No idea why. Just so he asked him, like, what's up with the croissants? I don't know. I just like croissants. Well, next thing he knows, the sleepy paramedic is getting croissants on all of his things. And so now he's spreading the wealth and everyone's getting croissanted, is what's happening. So we're blaming the sleepy paramedic for it. It was initially set to go to all first responders, but it has just completely gotten out of hand. Now there's the pizza army, there's the soda army, there's all kinds of, like, the chicken wing army, like it just, and it all started with the croissant army. Who knew? Who knew? But laughter is the best medicine. If you are struggling right now, one of my favorite tips is to spend time with an animal. Spend time with an animal, surrounded by animals. If you can't, if you don't have any, then I highly recommend you watch videos. Funny animal videos are always a blast because it lights up certain areas of our brain. It allows our brain to get that dopamine hit that makes us feel. And laughter is the best medicine because it makes you feel better. It makes you feel good. And what did they say? I think there was a saying that if you laugh for 10 minutes a day, it's the equivalent to walking a mile or something along those lines. Someone's going to have to do some research for me on that, and tell me if I got that right or horribly wrong. But we're being conditioned to watch super quick videos, super quick blurbs of information, take stuff in, move on to the next thing, right? So while we're being conditioned to do that with super short TikToks, super short YouTube videos, super short engaging everything, what we aren't doing is finding stuff that takes our attention and takes all of our attention. And it is very important for us to be able to grow our brains, grow our knowledge base, to constantly be growing. We end up getting stuck in the videos. Have you ever noticed that? You start off with, oh, I just want to see what this person's up to. And then 2 hours later, you're still scrolling and you don't know how you ended up watching a guy making a beaded patch on TikTok, right? You don't know how you ended up there. What are some things that you can do that are going to allow you to sit down and focus for half hour? Maybe you can read. Reading is always a really good thing. Maybe you can take a class. Maybe you can hang out in the shower. That's my favorite thing to do. When you are feeling overwhelmed, when you are feeling upset, allowing yourself a little bit of time to disengage from what you're upset about is helpful. Taking a little bit extra time to process your thoughts, process your feelings, but engaging in something that is going to take just about all of your attention is a good thing, because that is going to retrain your brain to prepare itself for longer bouts of paying attention. All right. Now, it is also important to understand that when it comes to mental health, a lot of us don't have a lot of time, right? That's why the video shorts are such a great idea. That's why, short classes are important, right? Because not all of us can take an hour or two of our lives to be able to learn something new, to implement something new. And one of the things that we've done with our self care boot camp is we've created a way to allow you to take action immediately. You're going to come up with a plan and you're going to take action immediately, because the more time you have to think about it, the more time you have to plan it, is the less time you're actually doing the thing. And what we're finding is the people who are the most successful are the ones who make the decision and do the thing. You can sit there and you can watch kitty cat videos all day, but the decision and the growth happens when you make the decision to get up, put the phone down, and go for a walk, right? We all know what we should be doing. We all know that it's important for us to get out and exercise, for us to drink a lot of water, for us to go and move, right? But how many of us are actually doing it? And how many of us are actually coming up with excuses as to why we can't? And that's something that Goose and I will be addressing with our experts as well. How can we motivate ourselves to do the action, take action and do the thing? And we go over all that, not only coming up in our upcoming broadcast, but we will be doing that in our upcoming Self-Care for Humans boot camp. So, all kinds of exciting things. All right, friends, I am going to hop off and take a quick break. I will be right back. So bear with me in just a moment. Thank you. I know, Goose. Yep, nope, you hang out right there. I know, I'll be right back. I am allowed to walk out of here for a sec. Like, it's not the end of the world. I promise. Come here. All right. Sorry, guys. Thanks for bearing with us. Whoa! Whew. All right. Thanks for bearing with us. We are trying to... Where'd you go? Come here. Come here. That is not for you, dude. Come here. Come here. Yeah. All right. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, guys. I know that this has been a great thing. Try not to lose it. Come over here, bud. What are you doing? Why? They don't want to see you over there. Come on. Come here. All right. Well, I guess we're going to follow Goose over here. Sorry. And it's the Goose cuddling up to a binder. Why? I don't know. All right. Thank you so much for bearing with us, trying to get situated. We are going to have to wrap it up in about 20 minutes. But we're excited. I think that this is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be so much fun. We've got some really great topics. We've got some great sponsors. We've got some really great projects in the works. And Goose and I cannot wait to share even more with you guys because self care is so much more important than we think it is. We always say, oh, self care is, I have to care of myself a little bit more. There's so much more to it than taking a hot shower and getting your nails done. There is so much more to it than what meets the eye. And what qualifies as self-care is what what makes you feel better? What makes you feel fulfilled? What makes you feel like you have it all together? And it looks different for everyone. And that's really the cool thing about it is that the more we come on here and we talk about it, the more ideas you can get. And life isn't cookie cutter. Let's be real. Like, this isn't all cookie cutter. This is life building. This is inspiring. This is going to allow us to be able to brainstorm and come up with ideas and new tactics. And, there might be some really great and revolutionary things that come from, hey. Really? Why are you being a butthead? And that, my friends, is Goose trying to eat papers. That was unnecessary, sir. Why? Why were you doing that, goober? Yeah. So, so Goose's story is a good one. He's a fighter. He's spoiled, rotten little goober. Hey. But the really cool thing is that he's a unique pet. And it has opened up our entire world to unique pets and being able to discover what other critters people are counting as therapy animals, as companions. There's bearded lizards or bearded dragons. There's all kinds of really. I think I remember reading that someone took a peacock on an airplane one time. Like, you don't realize what animals do for you until you have a unique animal yourself. And we've been very fortunate. Are you comfortable? We're very fortunate that Goose is such a wonderful and personable critter. Are you comfy? He is currently laying on the floor with his chin over a bin. I am talking about you. Yes, I am talking about you. And I love how he has his little foot stretched out. That always makes me laugh because he always sets his foot out like, "Oh, what are you doing?" But so some really great projects. Goose is going to jinx. We'll go from there. What do you think? You're being awfully quiet tonight. So Goose is a Peking duck. if you've ever gotten duck from the Chinese food place, it would be his breed of duck. They are known for being meat birds. They are known for being harvested probably anywhere between 9 to 12 weeks of age. They grow exceptionally quickly. That's the one thing that when we got the babies, we call them the Harry Crew. They're all named after Harry Potter critters. Um, but they grew into monsters within like a 2 week period. Between 1 and 3 weeks was a significant, like they almost quadrupled in size. But they are known for meat birds, and they are, so he's very heavy. He's actually probably a little bit heavier than he should be. But he only eats a couple times. He eats a couple times a day. He actually has his food restricted. But they are known for being meat birds, so he is pretty thick, pretty dense, and as far as weight wise. They are known for having hip issues, so he does have a little bit of a limp, but a lot of that was due to the fox attack when he was a little baby. He was 4 months old. The fox injured his wing and injured his leg. His wing healed. His leg, it gives him problems every once in a while. Uh, but it doesn't stop him from living his best life. He comes with me to go get coffee, and we go for quick walks around the yard. And he came with me to Chick-fil-A a couple times, so he gets out and about. We almost went to go see Santa this year, but I ended up falling sick. So uh, no Santa for Goose this year, or maybe next. I think that would be fun. What do you think? Are you getting tired? You getting sleepy? No. But he is, yeah, that's the other thing too. That's a great point, is that ducks are messy. They are very messy. And that's something that you really think you're prepared for, but you're never really prepared for, is how messy they are. Um, their body structure does not allow them to be potty trained. They can't hold it, they can't wait, they can't, like, they fire at will, so to speak. And it's gross. And you never know what you're gonna get. Um, that's a whole different topic for animal specialists. But you never know what you're gonna get. And it's I think that's the other thing too. That's something that a duck can teach us is, poop happens. It happens, and you don't know what it's going to be like. You don't know what's coming, but you know it's coming at some point, and the best thing to do is just deal with it the best you can. So, life is absolutely magical when you have a critter, and we are very very glad to have a critter like Goose, and he has been the best companion. They have said that Pekin ducks can last up to 9 to 12 years. So fingers crossed that we get Goose for that long. Uh, he has really good health aside from his little leg having. And he is a little rotund, but that's all right. We like we like our boys a little chunky. So he is a very, very good and personable critter. Couldn't ask for a better professor. He originally started off as our business project and scheduling coordinator. All of our events have to get scheduled through him. They still do, just because if I don't have time to take care of him and do the thing, then I can't do the thing because I got to take care of him. So we he always gives the final okay of whatever it is we're going to end up doing, and all of that. So but he ended up getting promoted to professor, so he helps us teach our courses, which we teach a workbook on how to take control of your mental health like a duck. And we do self care for humans boot camp. It's a 6-week boot camp that allows us to think like a duck, and take action like a duck, and to live our best lives as inspired by a duck. Who knew? Who knew? It's we're ducking crazy over here, and that we wouldn't have it any other way. Let's be perfectly real. I wouldn't have it any other way. He's a special dude, a special duck. Right, Mr. Duck? All right, guys. We have about 12 more minutes, and I think we're going to end up having to call it a night. My son just messaged me and let me know that I got to go and pick him in a few minutes. I'm going to take a second and see if we have any messages here on TikTok. If you guys have any questions that we can answer, I'd love to have you drop them in the comments. And we are getting ready to wrap up for the evening, unfortunately, because my son's got to get picked up from work, his ride. So, ducks. Yep. Oh, that's okay. So yeah, ducks are quite interesting creatures. They're fun, they're personable. They're just like any other animal when it comes down to it, because we don't realize how unique animal personalities are until we are able to domesticate them. And it's something that is fun to watch, fun to witness as each of their personalities come out. We've got Goose here. We have Luna, who's in the kitchen. We've got Molly, who had a little bit of a rough time yesterday, so she's hanging out on our porch. And we've got all the rest of the Harry Potter crew. We've got Harry, Hagrid, Molly, Snape, Ron, and Dumbledore are the guys that are all outside. And then we have Luna, and then we have Goose. So we've got 8 ducks. 8. It's a whole lot. I know, it's a whole lot of ducks. And they are everything. They're fun critters. Here, let me get you back over here to Goose. I know, my office is such a mess. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't realize that Goose was going to want to snuggle up with our box of binders and all kinds of stuff. But we are really looking forward to having some new podcast guests coming on up. So we're going to have Francesca, we're going to have Kira, we're going to have Jasmine, we're going to have Rena. We've got Jenna, who I saw your message, baby. We'll set you back up. It's not a problem. We are still looking for podcast guests. If you are in the animal industry, the mental health industry, anything having to do with self-care, mental health, awareness, and animals, we want to tie it all in and bring it all together and build our flock. We are looking to normalize not being okay sometimes, and we want to normalize mental health awareness and make sure that not only ourselves as leaders in our industry, in coaching, in farming, but also our veterans are being taken care of too. I know one of my clients, she recently got into doing horseback riding and all kinds of great things. And it's so good to be able to see her out and about and out of her shell and taking chances where she wasn't previously. And it's from building that bond with the animals. And so we're really excited to be able to open up the avenue and really call into awareness that animals can help our mental health and well-being. We can learn so much from them, and that we can not only build our relationships with ourselves, but relationships with our critters too. So we've got just a few more minutes left, but what we're going to do is I want to leave off with an intent for the next upcoming week for you. So we're going to be going live again on next Saturday, and we will be talking and discussing with Francesca and possibly Kira, and we'll be talking about animals and our self-care and all that great stuff. But between now and then, I want you to stay open to new roles. I want you to stay open to new opportunities and to things that are coming your way. And I want you to understand that, sometimes things might have to end for a new beginning to be possible. But if that's something that you are going to be facing, face it and be fearless with it, because animals don't ever really totally know what's coming, right? We never know what the day is going to bring. We can try to stick with a routine, but it doesn't always work. But I'll tell you what, the one thing that we can do is open ourselves up to our intuition, trust our intuition so much better, and know that our internal guidance, our natural instincts are there to keep us safe. We are able to break patterns that no longer serve us. And there are new beginnings all the time, all the time. And when you keep yourself open to new opportunities, new beginnings, new roles, new anything, magic happens that you never would have envisioned. And I want that for you. I want you to keep that in mind as we go into the next week. Okay. Goose and I are accepting new sponsors. We're taking podcast guests at any point. So if you guys just reach out to us directly, we'll be happy to set up a time and an interview. Jenna, we'll go ahead and we'll get you set back up, sweetie. This woman is a rock star, and my desire for that conversation is to know how she does it. We wear so many hats, and what does she find crucial to self-care for someone in her position? So I want to thank our sponsors for tonight, the Apex Pheromone and A Plus Assistance. You guys are absolutely wonderful. We're going to get your videos all set and recorded, so that way we'll be able to interchange them and have a little bit more of a set system. This was the first broadcast. We're going to bring on some fresh insight and interviews and do all kinds of really great magical things. And this is going to be a fun journey. Self-care and mental health awareness and wellness, it needs to be brought to the forefront. And if we can do that with the love of animals and combine it with self-care, then we're going to do that. We're really excited to have the opportunity to do that. So I want to thank Reel to Reel Broadcasting, both Debbie and Ron, for giving us the opportunity to do this broadcast and bring the podcast to everyone who's listening. If you guys like the content, enjoyed it, like it, love it, share it. It's going to get even better and more exciting as we progress, as we get things a little bit more streamlined, as I learn some of the technology. It's going to get even better as we move forward. So I want to thank every single one of you for joining us tonight, for being here and encouraging us, for joining us and spending time. Goose, as you can see, was absolutely thrilled. And do you have anything to add? I know he's getting sleepy. So we are going to wrap this all up, but you guys are absolutely beautiful and amazing. And as I said, if you guys want to be sponsors or want to be on the podcast, let me know. Let's talk and let's set something up, because this was a lot of fun. I'm going to have to go do something because now my voice is all hoarse. But just remember, guys, just remember, if you take nothing away from tonight but this, you cannot fill from an empty cup. You have to take care of yourself. You have to learn that it's okay to put yourself first. Your mental health, your well being is so important. You are important and you are loved and you are cherished. And you are such a valued member of our flock. And I want to make sure that you know that if at any point you need encouragement, you need help, you need insight, you can reach out to myself or Goose and connect with us, and we'll be able to help you in whatever way we can, even if it's to connect you with resources that will help you. We are happy to network, we are happy to encourage you to grow. We're your partners, we're your flockmates, and our utmost passion is to show you how to live with passion, how to live your purpose, to show up for yourself, to show up for your family in the best way that is authentically you. And to never apologize for being yourself either. There's never anyone more important than you. Okay? Your purpose here is to be happy. And if you're not happy, we're going to help you. Okay? You're loved, you're cherished, and we wish to close out tonight letting you know that you're here and you're supported, and that we hope that you live today and every single day with the utmost of passion. Goose and I are headed out for the evening. We thank you all so much for joining us. It has been an absolute pleasure, and we look forward to doing this again very soon. Thanks again for watching.